Hi. Aloha.
Hello.
What's up, sis? How you doing today?
Hello, everybody. What's up, Facebook? Hi, Miss Annie G. Davis. I am so lucky to be here with this woman. She is my dear friend, my dear sister, business partner, and she is tuning in from the beautiful beach here on Maui, where she does the majority of her work. If you watch her on Instagram, you see that she really takes pride in actually being able to live this lifestyle and work from anywhere you want. And you don't need Wi-Fi. You just need like one bar of service to close some sales from anywhere. And today she chooses this beautiful beach here on this amazing island that we live in. Thank you, Annie, for being here. So excited to talk numbers with you.
Yes, I'm so stoked to be here with you, Destiny. Thank you. It's just been so fun to build these businesses with you and learn to navigate, motherhood throughout the whole thing and just really allow more abundance into our lives. So yeah, I do love working from the beach. I used to think it was super, super cliche. I would see other women doing that and I was like, there's no way they're able to sustain like that. And once I found this opportunity that we're going to talk about today, I started to embrace it more and realize, whoa, I really can have this life that I've dreamed about. I really can. So the next step is to actually like live within it, and when you do that, it just furthers it. So I love what we get to do together. I love what we get to do for our community and for anyone who's tuning in today with an open mind and just like a hunger for change in their life. These messages, I hope, speak directly to your heart because they were shared with us at one point, and that's why we are here where we are today. Hooray!
Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to dive right in because time is essential, and that's why we have started these businesses, so we can have more of that. So we are going to go right into talking about numbers. Annie is an incredible businesswoman. Let me just put that there. She has really seen the opportunity here with this high ticket. And Annie, I would love to just share, if you can share with everyone, what does this look like for you? What have you built? You just told me the numbers, but would you just tell everybody what your numbers have been in just 4 years of this business? And what do you make on one transaction right now today?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so within this high impact, high income opportunity, in the last 4 years, I've been able to create a $2.6 million in sales business, essentially. And it's been my full-time income for the past 4 years. Currently on a sale, I make anywhere between $2,720 and just over $6,000. And that's just with one single transaction, one one-to-one sale, which is, so much more. I think about it. We were talking numbers earlier, and I know this is going to probably one of your questions, Destiny. You're such a good interviewer. I learn so much from you every day. But if I think about what I earned even on my very first sale, it was like more than, what it would take me to be like 25 hours in the workplace, in the restaurant that I work. So what I make now is just like that compounded. And so what I'm able to do with my time and with my money essentially is build this life that I only dreamed of before. So yeah, 6K.
Wow. Wow.
It's good. It's probably
Okay.
more than that, but it's like that. It's numbers, it's the average.
It is more than that because we have an incredible way to hack this opportunity that we teach within our organization, which actually allows more abundance to flow. But let's just go over that really quick. So I want to just start here. So before you built your business on your very first sale, you didn't have a team or anything. There was nobody you had to that was accumulating any sales for you. It was you. You made a direct sale, and within that sale, you earned $1,000. It's actually 1,020, but yeah, 4 figures, 1K in one sale without a bunch of people building underneath you. And just again, can you share what that was? Like when you look at the hours, that was how many hours away from being with your daughter at that time? You're working in the restaurant, you were spending your nights gone. I remember we were in that same boat, but how many hours was that away? If you had to
Yeah.
transaction, what does that look like?
That was on average like a full week of work for me. So between 25 and 30 hours. And that's just at the workplace, let alone like, what it takes to get mentally prepared for going into work and uniform ready afterwards. Like my daughter was young when I started this business. So I'd have to come home and sometimes she'd still be up. So it was just like those late nights. And then, your kid doesn't know the difference that you worked all night and you get up in the morning and you want to have a good present day with them. So you do it all over again. And I think about, the actual clock in hours are 25 to 30 to make like just over $1,000. But what that was doing, for it's all connected for every other aspect of my life was it cost me a lot more than what I was receiving in return. And I think that's something both you and I started to realize when we started to put more effort into this business. And really, our bridge step was a low ticket MLM, right? And that would be like $1,000 in that MLM would be such a good month for me. I would be celebrating. I would feel so accomplished. And I was on Zoom calls like 5-6 days a week, and we were in trainings, and we had to talk to all these people to get them to buy or to get them to even sell if they were on our team in order for those numbers to add up. And like what we can do on our own with our own motivation and just not having to rely on anyone else, and just knowing like I'm going to do this for myself and my family was one of the main reasons I said yes to this business. It's like no strings attached. It's like you're totally self-responsible. I love that.
Yes, I thank you for sharing that, because that's the energy. It's like that. It's not only is it our time, but it's the energy that we're putting in. And yeah, to be able to harness that. And, when you're spending those hours essentially making somebody else rich, like, why can't we just transfer that energy into doing something for ourselves? And that really leads me into the next question is, we hear a lot from people who have tried working online. I know that we're both running ads and we're getting a lot of people through automation, which is incredible that you can have your business running in the background while you're out living your life. And that's something that we really implement and teach and coach within our community as well. But being someone who was active in that online business, what made you stop in your tracks to really, when you saw this business opportunity, when that video was sent to you, like you sent it to me, what made you realize that like, no matter what happens, like, that this is something you're going to pursue? What made you not be afraid of, what does my upline think? What are people going to think if I trade businesses? What made that switch in your mind for you?
Oh my gosh. Thank you for walking me through all that scariness. I remember that, like, because in the beginning, when you are looking for new opportunities, it's like, what are other people going to think? And, what are the consequences of the decision I'm going to make? And it just took a realization of like, none of those people are able to create my life for me. None of those people are the ones who are like up late at night with my kid or having to say goodbye to her at the door while going off to work. Those aren't those people. They're not living in my body. They're not living in my experience. So am I going to make that decision because of them, or am I going to make it for me? And what I saw that made me fully get that and take ownership of that was the opportunity for legacy wealth here. It was mind blowing. Like the compensation plan on its own, just that, like what we've talked about so far, had me like, oh my gosh, is this possible? But then when I saw what you're capable of creating for life at a baseline of $5,000 per month for life that you can then pass on to your kids, and that's the baseline of the bonus. Like our mentor is making, I think his wife is like 15K a month baseline and 20K. And that's on top of everything else that's happening in your organization, the monthly and the quarterly bonuses. I just saw the compound effect of that. And I also saw that, there was no sort of like membership or renewal fees or the monthly hustle that I had experienced in my MLM. And I thought, well, why wouldn't I do this? Like, I need a backup plan. I need something in my back pocket, because what am I going to do? Wait tables for the rest of my life? And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll be a concierge, and then you get like good benefits. And then I was just looking at the benefit packages, and they're like, it's not that you can survive, but are you thriving? Are you able to take trips with your kid? Am I able to, like, my daughter's at such a fun age. We got a bunch of international travel planned this year. And there's no way I could have that extra income living on this island or really living anywhere in the country right now, and be able to do all the fun things, like to be able to go to the grocery store and shop the way we shop right now, and to be able to support, local businesses the way we support them. There wouldn't have been that extra. There wasn't in the restaurant, and it certainly wasn't getting any better the way I just saw the cost of everything. So yeah, seeing that legacy wealth, it was like, no question. I'm like, well, shoot, if it takes me 20 years to build this, cool. If it takes me 4, even better. If it takes me 2, hooray. And I love what we're teaching people right now, to do it in half the time that we've done it, and what we've been able to achieve in such a short amount of time. Like full-time businesses, we're full-time business owners. this is life. This is our life. And we
This is
raise wild kids.
Oh, yes, we do. And it's the best part of it is we get to be there for it. And that's, the other part of this impact that I know is really, really important to you and what you share on the daily. I love that you touched on the legacy wealth, because that was something that is something that people really see the value in. Is like, I mean, think of all the jobs we've worked, and we've been at jobs each of us for a decade, and what do we have left over from that, right? Nothing. Like, imagine if we had built something that could live on, and that's what we're doing here. With that being said, Annie is about to hit an incredible level within her global organization, and this year she's up for $24,000 in sales, anywhere between 24K and actually 30K in sales, depending on how that all works with our compensation plan. It's pretty amazing. But this does not even include the standard 5-figure months that you're having in your business right now. So, I mean, when we're sharing that, this is what we're creating. I know this makes people uncomfortable, but I know that this is important, because people say, well, money doesn't make you happy. Money isn't the key to happiness, but it does support the life that we all deserve and need. And I'd love to ask you, how does that transmute when we're talking these numbers? How does that transmute to you, and the impact in our current state that we have in our economy, in this world? I mean, we basically launched our businesses before 2020 happened, and we watched them double, yours tripled. How do you see this opportunity changing for people and actually becoming an essential addition to a family lifestyle, and to anyone's life at this point, being an essential thing to have in our back pocket?
I love that you're bringing this up. I was going to say the same thing. It's just becoming essential. It's wildly essential at this point. I mean, I know you and I both talk to women every single day that reach out to us based off what they've seen on our content, or perhaps they're coming in through our funnels and they're just like, I got laid off from my job, or my husband and I both work, we never see our kids, and it's still not enough, and we're under debt. And I hear these stories over and over again, and I can't even imagine what my story would have looked like over the last 4 years if I didn't make this decision, because I was, when I found this opportunity, becoming like a single income household myself and my daughter, and I was under a mountain of debt, and I didn't have the funds to come up with this. And it was a huge mental switch for me to understand that there's one thing that's called bad debt, and there's one thing that we aren't taught, and that's called good debt. And learning to see money as a renewable energy source in order to build a bridge to get to where you want to go is something that you can do for yourself that will change absolutely everything. Like I heard my mentor say one time, like, I want to live in a position where 20K credit card debt can be wiped out in a single like week of sales, and for him it's like a day or like a blink. I have no idea, but that would be like a couple weeks in sales for me. And when I heard that, I was like, is that possible? And then I watched the people that were doing it, and I thought, yes, because the constrictions that I feel are all around me based off of like scarcity, and people are so afraid because they are in debt and they aren't able to work enough hours in order to make enough money, is so overwhelming. And I can imagine that I would be there too. But what I feel really fortunate to have right now is the ability to see that, you can leverage your time. If you're watching this and you're holding a phone, you're basically holding an ATM. You just need to figure out, a vehicle that's in alignment with your values. And what I've found is that, especially from working in a low ticket MLM, is that there's a lot of commodities out there. And it's really challenging to convince people to buy things that aren't necessarily what they need to live if they were on a desert island. But with this, it's like, do you drink water? It was so simple. The water to me is like the bonus effect. It's like, do you need to make money? Do you need to pay your bills? Do you need to pay rent? I see all these women blowing it up with these MRR courses right now. And I think props to them. Like, I love seeing other women learn to leverage the system and learn to leverage these apps. But I got to think, like, when it all comes down to it, what are we actually representing? What are we actually selling? And the opportunity to grow a business that you can, obviously hold in a glass and drink it as well, but also that you can pass on to your children and to their children and their children. Like, this is a generational healing in a sense, like, I know my daughter's never going to have to worry about money. She's going to make decisions based on what she's passionate about and how she wants to serve based on what she can, versus what she can afford. And I visualize like a whole community of people who are living within this space and what kind of change that brings about on this planet, and how things might look differently than how they are now, where people are fighting when the lights go out at Target yesterday over like the last pillow that's on sale, when there's a pillow probably even better that's like a couple dollars more. But there's that fear around money and that scarcity right now that I hope we can show people that there are alternative ways to heal this and solve this. So I didn't talk a lot about numbers there, but money is a vehicle. Money is a vehicle for what you want. Money is a vehicle for a really juicy, delicious life. Money doesn't solve all your problems. Some people are rich and they still are time poor. Mm-hmm. But learning to leverage this machine right here so that you have more time and you can do more fun things with your life is the ultimate flex to me. Like that's the real rich, and that comes for being able to pay my bills and not have to worry about any expenses. I don't want that for anybody.
And that sounds really simple, and it can be, right? And Annie is an incredible visionary at showing people that this can actually be simple. You don't need the techie stuff. I don't even know if we used our computers when we first launched this business. It was just all on the phones. And you don't need to know what you're doing because you have a community of people that have done it and are here to support you. I really think that that's the message that you just said, is that that's the real rich, is being able to have what you desire and to be able to feel secure and safe and happy and taken care of. And that's worth every investment in yourself for sure. So thank you so much for this. I know that there's probably some questions. If you guys have any questions about this business, this compensation plan, it's absolutely incredible. We actually are giving access to our free Facebook group. Annie and I have co-created it. It's got a lot of incredible resources there on not just the product, but really talking about the generational wealth aspect, showing how you can create $1,000 in your first sale, your first transaction, while you're helping a family level up and clean water. And to be able to show that, this is a global business. It's about to hit 50 years old, right? We're getting ready to go to Japan this year. And the company that we represent is going to hit 50. That's 50 years. Like how many other companies can have this, this wealth creation, this product that's changing lives and absolutely incredible. And then, a background with what we do represent, which is, this company has gone through 7 recessions and a pandemic or whatever that was, and is still thriving. And here we go. Here we grow.
Here we go. I feel like we're really just getting started with this. Like what we've been able to see. Yeah. Just like you were saying, when this island shut down and the world went to whatever, and what our businesses did during that time, it was a real forecast for what we're seeing happen now and the steep climb that we're on. So I'm so excited for all the men and women that are coming into this business with open minds, open hearts, and just a drive to create a life better than they've ever imagined. And they finally found a vehicle, that is life-changing money. It's not just making pennies, every week or every sale. It's like, you want to make a huge impact in your life. You want to take a quantum leap, then get into that Facebook group. We teach them really, really accessible tools on money mindset and wealth creation. We're always adding to it daily, and it's just really there as a vehicle and a tool to help people as they bridge the gap from where they are in that state of, lack and scarcity and fear, especially around money and around taking care of themselves and their families and how they're going to make the next bill, going to the mailbox and feeling stressed. I remember that. And I go to the mailbox, I'm like, with my phone, I want to document it because abundance is flooding in. We want to get people to that step. And we're here to help you. So thank you so much for your time, Destiny. Thank you for holding this space and diving into the numbers with me. I really, really appreciate you. I couldn't do this and I wouldn't want to without you. You're an incredible leader.
Likewise, sister. Enjoy that sun. Enjoy just working from your special place. And thank you to everybody that's watched this. And we can't wait to really do some more education here with more people and really connect more on talking about this and why it's so different and why it's so valuable. So cheers, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful week. Invest in yourself, invest in your future, invest in your dreams, and much aloha. Thanks, Annie. You're the best. Love you.
Love you. Love you all. Aloha.